Away baby, man, I think it's a next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keeps changing, everybody doing a different role. And so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice, and I think that's what y'all see. The Indiana Fever just pulled off something nobody saw coming without Caitlin Clark on the court facing a Dallas Wings team hungry for an upset, and coming off a brutal loss to the Sparks the night before, everything pointed to disaster. The crowd of 49 came expecting to see Clark face Paige Bueckers for the first time in the WNBA. Instead, they witnessed something even more remarkable. What happened in those final minutes will change how you see this Fever team forever, and what Aliyah Boston said after the game, 6 words that perfectly captured why this win means everything. If you support the Fever, comment, "I've got the Fever" down below.
Ow.
Let's go. Yeah, I think for us, it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs, and they made their run in that third quarter, and honestly just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on. And so for us, that was our focus, is get a stop, go down and score, get another stop. And we try to get a kill picture, this massive buildup that had the entire WNBA world talking Clark versus Bueckers, the #1 pick from 2024, against the top pick from 2025. This wasn't just any regular season game. This was the matchup everyone had been waiting for since draft night. The Dallas Wings knew they had something special brewing, so they made a huge decision. They moved the game from their usual home at College Park Center to the massive SC American Airlines Center, where the Mavericks play. Think about that for a second. You don't just move a game to a 20-seat arena unless you know something big is about to happen. Fans started buying tickets like crazy. The buzz was everywhere. Social media was going wild. This was going to be the showdown that would break attendance records and show the world just how far women's basketball has come. You know, finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It really is a day-to-day thing. And I think for us, you're making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness. You know, it's anybody who's had some of these types of injuries understand that sometimes it's a process. She's a quick healer, and she's been doing everything that she can to get back on the floor. So, you know, we just want to make sure that we're hypersensitive to the big picture. Then boom, Clark's groin injury flares up 2 nights before the game. The most hyped matchup of the season suddenly becomes a giant question mark. You've got thousands of fans who bought tickets specifically to see these two go head-to-head, and now the main attraction might not even play. I feel a disappointment for them more than anything, because, you know, you want them to see her at her best, and us at our best. You know, I hate that for fans, but at the same time, you know, again, for us as a team, and for Caitlin as a person and player, her health and wellness is the priority. But here's the thing that made this whole situation even more intense. The Fever had just gotten absolutely destroyed by the Los Angeles Sparks. The night before, we're talking about a team that looked completely lost without their star running the show. The pace was slow, the ball movement was terrible. Aliyah Boston barely got any touches. Everything that makes Indiana dangerous just fell apart when Clark wasn't on the court. I think the biggest thing for us is our attention to detail. In our screening, we've got to be great. Screeners, we got to make sure we slow down and use our screen and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Leah to get going. Either so, I think that the 2 most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screening and spacing. Dallas was absolutely licking their chops. They knew exactly what happens when the Fever play without Clark. The offense becomes predictable. Boston gets forgotten about. The whole system breaks down. This looked like the perfect opportunity for the Wings to make a statement against a wounded team that had been struggling. But here's what nobody expected. Even without Clark confirmed to play 49 people still showed up. That's right, they set a new Texas women's basketball attendance record without the main attraction even being guaranteed to take the court. Think about what that says about the power of this rivalry and the growth of women's basketball. We'll start Ari today. We'll start her and sit off the bench a little bit. You know, I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does instinctually on the wing and overload her from a point guard. Perspective. So, with having Ari and Haven having Sid, they'll give us a couple different looks right there. The Wings walked into that game thinking they had a wounded animal cornered coach. Stephanie White shocked everyone by starting Ari McDonald. For the first time, completely changing the lineup that everyone expected. Nobody knew what to expect from this new look. What happened next? It would reveal something about this Fever team that even their biggest fans didn't know was there. The stage was set for either complete disaster or something absolutely magical. Quarter starts and something absolutely incredible happens. The Fever don't just survive without Clark on the court. They completely explode right out of the gate. Ari McDonald brings this energy that nobody saw coming. She's pushing the pace like her life depends on it. Charles can't finish it. Got to finish that. A beautiful pass. McDonald counted in one. Run. She's getting everyone involved in ways that make you forget Clark isn't even playing. Dallas walks into this game thinking they can just focus on stopping Kelsey Mitchell. That's their whole game plan shut down. Mitchell and watch the Fever fall apart, but suddenly they're dealing with McDonald's downhill attack that they never prepared for. She's creating complete chaos for the Wings defense. She's opening up lanes that haven't existed all season long. Can't finish as a big. You gotta lean in, you can't be falling away. McDonald has been outstanding. Here's what makes this even more amazing. McDonald goes perfect from the field in that first quarter. She's not just throwing up shots, she's making smart plays that create opportunities for everyone else. The Fever start the game by making their first 7 shots in a row. 7 straight makes to open the game. You don't see that kind of execution very often inside. Can't get it, Lee, you roof. Here comes Natasha Howard in 0 run for Indiana. Lexi Hall carries the 3. You got 2. Get out on her, ladies. She's shooting 51% from beyond the arc. This is a rough Aliyah Boston. Finally starts getting the touches she desperately needs. You can actually see her confidence building with every single possession. She's getting the ball in positions where she can do damage. The Wings have to respect McDonald's speed, which means Boston has more room to operate down low. She scores efficiently and grabs rebounds like she's been waiting for this moment all season, shooting to open the game. The Wings are only 2 of 14. Howard lobs it inside Boston and Misha Hinden got lost, allowed for the easy 2 and Natasha, and she's going to get in the paint. And so the defense has to step up to protect the drive, and now she puts that air on the ball, and Ab is able to finish that shot at the rim. That was beautiful. The crowd that came to see Clark face Bueckers is witnessing something completely different. They're watching a team discover what they can be when everyone steps up together. This isn't about one player carrying the load. This is about 5 players moving as one unit by the end of that first quarter. Indiana leads 33-13. Let that sink in for a second. They outscored by 20 points in 12 minutes. Even the Dallas fans are standing up and applauding the basketball. They're seeing you don't often see that kind of respect from opposing fans. This is what they do. Yep, sometimes you're going to have some back-to-back games, sometimes you're not going to be able to get in the gym and practice. Got to H goodnight, and again the veteran schools the rookie Kelsey Mitchell starts heating up during this stretch, but she's not forcing anything. The ball movement is creating easy looks for everyone. On the court, Mitchell gets 10 points in the first quarter alone, but she's doing it within the flow of the offense. This wasn't just about replacing Clark's production on the scoreboard. This was about the Fever discovering what this team could become when everyone stepped up together. The foundation was set for something truly special, but the real test was still ahead of them. Here's where the story gets really good. Dallas starts clawing back hard, and suddenly this comfortable lead starts shrinking fast. The Wings figure out how to attack the Fever's defense. They start making shots they were missing in the first quarter. You can feel the momentum shifting in a way that makes Fever fans nervous. Paige Bueckers begins putting on an absolute show. She scores 27 points and makes WNBA history with a perfect stat line that has everyone's jaws dropping. Bueckers becomes the first player ever to record 25 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 0 turnovers in a single game. That's the kind of performance that wins games and changes careers. Paige is just such a smart player. She reads defensive. Well, she knows how to pick you apart. And so when you play against her, you have to make sure that you're aware of where She is at all times, and also she does a great job of putting her teammates in great position. So for us, I feel